Hey Lucy, good start here. So yeah, I really like the overall way that this is looking with these curves and some of the features. I'm not sure. I'm really only seeing a couple features, a couple attractions. So you might want to clarify that. And I just had some feedback for just a few things actually. So for your sign, if you might not want to have the pointer going that way because what it does is it points the eye right off the picture plane. Remember that thing we did about using direction and moving the eye through a design? You want to point things inward usually, so you might want to move this sign over here. And another thing you could do for it to add depth, if you make one side of it smaller. These are just the rules of perspective, right? One side of it smaller, it's going to look like it has more depth because, it's further away in the background, this side. The same is true with the those boats. So the way you've got these, I think they're boats. I'm pretty sure they're boats. At first I thought they could have been like flip-flops, but the way you have these drawn, you're looking down at them like you're like on the ceiling looking down. It's a real worm's eye view. Then from this, you're looking like face on. So you want to get the you want to get a little bit of continuity with that, so it looks a little bit more believable. So so if you just Google boat, here's a good one. You can see how we're seeing the side of the boat too, not just the top. These are the things that I really recommend just all the students do a little drawing, just learn a little bit of drawing technique because it really helps with this kind of stuff. It doesn't mean you're drawing photorealism. It just means you're understanding some of the drawing concepts. Another thing that will add depth is that if you make the birds different sizes, they'll want to look closer and want to look further away. But the main thing here is all of this negative space. The gradient, I'm not seeing the reason for the gradient here. If I were going to do a gradient, I would just do the standard one. In fact, we could just look at these photographs, like here even. It's going to be lighter at the bottom and then get darker at the top. So you might just want to use just use a gradient like that. So again, have a look at some of those examples. You've got really a long way to go with this. I'm not really seeing much development. Yeah, that's why most students spend so many hours on this. But just go back and look at some of the examples. Like where's that one? Sorry, I just had a phone call. So anyway, if you study some of these posters, they're really simple, actually. So if you really look at how they're being unified and how the space is filled, there's repetition of a few, repetition of these little trees, repetition of this orange color. Repetition of elements is what creates unity. Same here, repetition of all these little lights and of the color. So and again, this is really, really pretty simple, simple way to, create, a tourist poster, and it's got like 5 attractions in it. Same here, really pretty simple, but notice how the space is filled. It's not super crowded, but there's not a whole bunch of negative space. So when you study these and just try to look and see what you can do to fill up some of that negative space and really get those attractions. I really like this one because it's, again, only really 2 colors. You've got the different, hues of the blue and the orange, but and the repeating orange color and the rectangular forms really moves the eye through this. And then again, there's a little bit of a night sky with, again, the gradient with the lighter part at the bottom. So yeah, you might want to view that video again, that just with the examples and stuff. But so you're really up to a good start, but really only seeing the 2 attractions. So need to see a little bit more. I'm not sure you want this to be such a big focal point, in terms of being the main attraction here too. So, okay, so let me know if you have any questions. Just really allot yourself more time for this because it really does take a lot of time. I just graded Let me see. This is one I just graded, and he spent a lot of time on getting this, the black of this, and creating this firework. Let me show you another one. Shoot, I can't find it. Oh, sorry. So anyway, just have a look at some of the examples that, you know, that are in that video, and just try to study, you know, what's working and what's not working in them, because that's really a good way to learn. And you can even look at another tourist poster and look at the elements and where they're placed, and look at the use of foreground, middle ground, and background. And I think that'll also really help. Yeah, the gradient, it's kind of, I mean, I think this is water, but this gradient over here is kind of confusing. So you just might want to, you know, really spend some time. You know, you can even make some sketches to see how you want the composition. Okay, so anyway, I hope this helps. And again, I'm around this week if you want more feedback before the final, okay?